Hey YouTube, Dan Otto here, and the Ultra League and Ultra League Premier starts today. Ultra League Premier means no legendaries. It still means XL though, and then Ultra League Open includes XLs and legendaries. So what I'm gonna do in this video is like very quickly skim this top 20 because not much has changed over the past like couple seasons. I will go over 3 teams that I used in the past that worked very well, and I'm gonna go over 3 teams that you are gonna see videos for on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. That got me up to 29-11. That's where I am right now with 3 teams that have worked well. I'm going to go over very quickly those teams, and then you can check those videos out the next 3 days. So, top 20. I'm not going to talk too much about it because it hasn't changed too much. Like, Cobalion and Virizion are now 2 and 11, and I've seen them a lot ever since they got double kick and I got the buff. So they are there a lot. So I would potentially either use them or go against them because I've seen them a lot. Guzzlord at number 14 is interesting because it is a dragon and dark, which is an interesting combo, right? Because your dragon dark, it takes like out Giratina, it takes out Trevenant. Dragon would probably do well against Swampert too. I haven't looked at the full, but like because dragon resists water, so that would probably do well there, right? So Guzzlord's gonna be interesting. I've got you're gonna see my team number 3, which will just get destroyed by it. It's a team that got me to 29-11 because I haven't seen any Guzzlords yet. But so I'll go over that in 1 minute. But otherwise, your normals, everything else is pretty standard on here. I'm just looking at XL. You got your XL, you got your XL. Yeah, you got all your XLs, you got your community day Pokemon, okay, and then that's basically and your legendaries, right? So that is basically the top 20. We know that it's been like that for a while. Team number 1. I use Melmetal. Use Galarian Stunfisk if you have it, but it's basically Galarian Stunfisk / Melmetal. Giratina, Trevenant. Giratina is kind of like your safe swap to draw anything out. You then like a fairy or whatever, or ghost, and then Galarian Stunfisk is good just for like the flyers and stuff like that. And then you're a little weak to like a Scrafty, this team, but overall like good coverage for what you're gonna see. If you're gonna run Galarian Stunfisk in the lead, you need something for Swamperts because Swamperts are rare, right? So the back 2 deal with Swampert. So it's basically a balanced team with the safe swap and Galarian with Giratina. The second team I used was Walrein, Pidgeot. I'm going to go over Pidgeot. I won't go over too much because it's on my next team and it's on one of my teams I used. Pidgeot, I think, is going to be one of the better, very underrated, better Pokemon right now. But basically, Walrein deals with your dragons, deals with your flyers. This team is a little weak to like a Galarian Stunfisk, like you're double weak to Rock. So if you want to replace the Walrein with like what you're going to see in my first team, Tapu Fini, like a pure water type Pokemon, that is not a bad idea. Muck, just like Giratina, Cresselia, Trevenant, just amazing answers to all of those. One of the best safe swaps in this league for a long time. Not so much anymore, but like still has incredible play against all those Pokemon that you're going to see. And the third, this was an all community day Pokemon team. So if you don't have a lot of Pokemon, but you play the community days, Talonflame with Incinerate, Swampert Hydro Cannon, Powder Snow Ice Cold Spear, Walrein, same thing. Like I won't go over too much because you're gonna see right now. I'm gonna go over all these other Pokemon that I just did here. So let me pop all these up. I'm gonna go over the teams a little more in depth, and then you guys can go watch the videos the next 3 days. So the first team that got me. I was running, it probably got like 75-ish, 100 ELO, was Tapu Fini, Greedent, Pidgeot. That got me up to 2850, and that was basically, you'll see in the video tomorrow, Tapu Fini, solid coverage all around, weak to poison and weak to grass. So Trevenant's gonna be your main issue there. Back to cover Trevenant. Pidgeot, just like, as I said, with like the Virizions out there now, Trevenant's everywhere. Giratina, if it's not running Dragon Breath and it's running like Shadow Claws, you resist the Shadow Claws, right? So it's a strong, sneaky Pokemon. Greedent is like your spammy safe swap. Second team, I already kind of talked about it, is multiple community days, except I replaced the Walrein with the Trevenant because Trevenant is very strong in this meta. Basically, cover your weakness, right? Weak to grass here. Swampert, great against almost everything, weak to grass. Talonflame will deal with the grass. And then you have Trevenant right there, weak to sort of Ghost. But it is also good against Ghost, so it's weak to Dark. So you have like those other two like to deal with like Scrafty and other decks like that. That team got me to 28 what did I get up to? 2,900? Yeah, 2,900. Because then I did one set with this last team where I went 3-2 to get me to 2,911. And it won't work if I start seeing Guzzlords everywhere. I'll tell you that right now, because all three of these lose to Guzzlord. And it's one of those things where it's like, I was going against the meta I was seeing. So like Trevenants are everywhere. Swamperts are everywhere. Talonflames were everywhere. So I went Jellicent, Giratina, Umbreon. So this team has a lot of flaws if you align it against poor Pokemon. Your back two Pokemon are weak to Fairy. Your front two are weak to Ghost and Dark. So I went 3-2 with it. I got to 2911. That's where I'm sitting right now. I'm going to use it again tomorrow. All three will lose to Guzzlord. I lost one to Mandibuzz today because I did not have Ice Beam and I didn't have Dragon Breath. So if you're going to run this team, I'm going to switch it. I went 3-2 with running Bubble Beam on Jellicent and Shadow Claw on Giratina. But I think if you're going to run this team, you need to run Ice Beam for coverage for the Mandibuzz, and you need to run Dragon Breath for coverage for like a Scrafty or something like that, where that would cause you some problems too. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like Swampert. You have two answers plus Umbreon does okay against Swampert. Trevenant, you have these two Pokemon will do okay against it. It will do bad against it as well, but it'll do okay against it. But Umbreon covers that there. Talonflame, you got the first two plus Umbreon does okay against it there. What else have I seen? Cresselia, right? You have pretty much great answers across the board for Cresselia. And then Frisian, you have the dragon to deal with that, right? So it's one of those things where like, I know it doesn't make sense in the long run if you're seeing certain Pokemon. If I see Guzzlord or I start seeing fairies, I will scrap this team. But it's working for what I'm seeing. And this is one of those things where it's like, build for what you are seeing, even if the team has flaws and doesn't make sense overall. And I think this is where people struggle with team building. They think like it's very easy to build like team number 2, Swampert, Talonflame, cover your weaknesses, Trevenant, decent save swap overall, right? It's very easy to build like that. It's another thing to build a team that you're going to lose some games, but for the most part, I think I can win games, right? And that's kind of how I like to team build. Like sometimes my teams aren't going to make sense and I'm just going to get destroyed. But then for what you're seeing, you're going to go 3-2-4-1 a few times. So I'll see if it works tomorrow. I will bring it to you Tuesday no matter what, because top team coming Friday, Swampert team coming Monday, and then Jellicent team coming Tuesday. And then hopefully I will hit Legend with this team or another team for Wednesday. So that's it. Thanks for watching. And I will see you guys in the next one.